seeing all the videos with the trending audio from America's Next Top Model with the "You want to be on top," like it's just taking me out because I was obsessed with that show. And I mean, I feel like what millennial girl wasn't? Like, always watched that show, loved every season of it. And seeing everything come out now with the documentary and how everyone's like, that was so toxic, Tyra's toxic, I can't believe that was a period of time. Absolutely agree. But at the same time, I'm like, y'all, like, we're still living in it. Like, it's not gone, and it's subtle. And I see it all the time as a pre and postnatal fitness specialist when I work with moms. Everyone gets so afraid of not adding cardio into their plan. That's like the first thing. Everyone's like, well, I need cardio, because we're so afraid, because this culture is still ingrained in our brain as women. And it's so prevalent with especially millennial moms. I think we're getting a little bit better. Like the generation above us, I think, was probably worse with it. But you guys, it's like, it's subtle. Like, obviously America's Next Top Model, it was like so obvious, like in extremes. And we're like, Tyra, like, what the F? But don't feel like that just because we're not in the era of America's Next Top Model anymore. It's not still happening. It just happens more subtle and you don't realize it. And maybe years from now we'll look back and be like, wow, we were still following the same BS. And that's why I'm such a proponent of learning your body, learning strength training. Putting on muscle does not mean you're all of a sudden this bodybuilder. Trust me, if you knew bodybuilding, I did bodybuilding for a few years. Those people on stage who want to get ripped, who want to get shredded, especially like the bodybuilding class, there's different classes to bodybuilding. That's why a lot of them are taking drugs, taking steroids, because if it were as simple as just eating more to look ripped and like the Hulk on stage, they wouldn't be needing those drugs and steroids, okay? So just eating more food, fueling your metabolism, reverse dieting, all these terms, they're meant to make you healthier, to make you look better, to make you feel better, not to be this stick thin person walking around. Like, they were trying to be on America's Next Top Model, but if we're being really honest with ourselves, a lot of you still want that. The thought of putting on muscle, you're like, yeah, I want to be toned. But the second someone says, okay, we got to eat more, you're like, oh, make sure I'm running though. Make sure I get more steps though. Make sure I add the Stairmaster in though, because I want to be toned. Did you hear me? I want to be toned. Yeah, girl. You got to strength train. We got to lift the weights. We got to lift heavy. We got to eat more food, okay? So you want to be on top? You got to strength train, okay? And so don't think for a second that it's gone. It's still here, and we're still working through these patterns, okay?